G'day and welcome to the first real international version of The Spin. I'm so excited I could just jump up and down, which is not easy in a wheelchair. Let's bring everybody in, Carl, and tell everyone who we've got. And you should have met them if you've been watching our introduction videos. We've got Wade in Canada. How you going, mate?
Hey, how's everybody?
We've got Ania. I've learned to say the name right.
Yes, hi.
Hey, and Kaley,
Hi.
who tried to hide a bottle of scotch, but we said she couldn't.
No, it's whiskey.
Whiskey, so I beg your pardon. And Maybeth from Tennessee.
Hey,
The hunker burning love.
howdy, I mean.
All right, well, this is our first time, so we've got no idea what's going to happen. Oh, Nev. I didn't look because he's in the other bit, aren't I? Nev?
You go.
Nev's right here with me, by the way. So, you're so slim, Nev, I didn't even see you. You're on the other side of the screen.
Green. Oh, yeah.
All right, so really haven't got a clue what we're doing today, guys, so we're going to ask you from now on after today to help shape the program by letting me know things that you want to talk about. But we have got a few things to talk about. First of all, I think I can do it. I'll just make sure if my NDA is right, and I think it is. Hold on. We got Wade has got a few new products. We might just give him a bit of a plug to start the show. Can you go to NDI, Carl, if possible?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about these products?
Yeah, there's a little bit of lag in our video, but yeah, the rollout mats are new accessible mats. They're made out of 100% recycled material now, and they're a better mat, AOJ approved. We're now the distributors in Canada. And the Mobi chair, which is the original version, which is now certified and approved as a rescue assistive device as well as a person with disability assistive device.
Okay.
Those are our new products. Proud to have them out now. Soon
So
to
it
be
floats.
Yes, it's an amphibious wheelchair that could be folded up, taken apart, put it in the trunk of your car. And once you get to where you're going, you put it together, you can go across the sand, the mud, dirt, over the tree roots, through whatever is your way, and into the water, and it floats.
Hey, that'd be a great way, Kaley, to drink your whiskey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll come back to
I
all
already
of
feel
this.
like I'm in the water when I drink whiskey. I don't have to use that.
Well, I don't know how we're going with our technical stuff, but we're getting there a little bit. That's crazy. Well, one of the reasons we wanted to get some international people in, and particularly ladies, is so we could discuss some of the issues from the feminine point of view, which I haven't got a clue about, even though everybody calls me a girl. But before we do that, no, we'll talk about that first. I read a report this week that people with mobility impairment have a lot of trouble getting examined, like pap smears and things like that. It's much more difficult, and they feel like they're not treated with proper respect, and it's just not easy enough. Has anyone got anything to say about that? And Ania, have you got any thoughts on that one?
I think
It's
she's
lagging
frozen.
on my end.
Oh, hang on. Are you there?
Yes,
the fa-
but it's lagging on my end.
Okay, can you tell us, do you have difficulty with going to the doctor for examinations and so on? Do you feel like you're treated with dignity, or do you feel like it's just too difficult, or how do you find it?
When I first got injured, the gynecologist that I was seeing actually asked me if I could find somebody else that could accommodate me better because he didn't feel comfortable, as he worded it, dealing with someone in my cause of problems or...
I'm laughing at your inverted commas. I'm not laughing at the
disability.
situation. That's terrible. How did that make you feel?
Well, I just kind of looked at him and I was just like, I mean, if it accommodates me, that's fine, but shouldn't you help accommodate that? And, you know, I've been with you for years now and I would feel more comfortable staying with you, but I wasn't going to argue him.
Did you consider
So,
reporting him?
no, I had no idea that you can actually report things up
There's a thing
until
called
this
duty of care,
last
and
couple,
he has
3
a
or 4
duty of care to
months.
you as a patient, and he cannot just do that. That's really wrong.
Yeah, I learned that a little bit too late. My new gynecologist educated me on that. He let me know about that.
Well, bring everybody back in, Carl, because I think that it's not too late. I think you can still take that up and have him censured. Have any of the rest of you had any similar situations?
I have.
Okay, do you mind telling us about it, Kaley?
Well, I went to see the doctor for like a routine check, and it was a new doctor, and she basically was like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm supposed to be here, you know, this is what you're supposed to do." And she's like, and when I told her, like, she asked if I was like sexually active or whatever, and I said yeah, and then she was like, "Oh my God, really?" Like, she was so surprised that people in wheelchairs can actually have sex. She made me feel super uncomfortable, and I was like, yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, okay, well, I guess I'll do your test then."
This is just wrong. Very wrong.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll never come back to you.
Stick that up you. Anyway, it's.
Yeah.
I mean that I read this report, and to be honest, I thought, oh, I'm sure it's overblown, but clearly we've got 3 ladies here. If we can just ask May, have you had any problems, May? Hang on, we're going back to everyone, I think. Oh, we're not. Here we are. Have you had any issues, May, in the area?
Yeah, I have once. The doctor didn't have much faith in me to get up on the examine table, and she put it off as she couldn't examine me because I was in a wheelchair because it was too difficult.
I'm shocked. I'm seriously shocked. We've got 3 women here, and 3 women have had problems. Are any of you surprised that the other 2 had the same problems?
No.
Not really. That's how they are nowadays.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm shocked. There's also an extremely good joke that I can't do
pretty
right
crazy.
now. But anyway, we'll do that after the show's over.
Welcome to the vagina world.
I'm sure there was a guy who once said to me, I'm not a gynecologist, but I'm happy to take a look at it for you. I could have jumped in there. Anyway, I've done it now. Too late. Bad luck. Are you shocked, Wade and Neville?
Oh, I am.
You're
I
shocked?
know.
Oh, no, I'm not shocked. Oh,
Okay, you're
No, I'm
shocked.
not
You're
shocked.
surprised, Nev? I'm very surprised.
Yes, I've been in Australia. I don't think that would happen.
I don't think it would either. I think they'd be too damn scared to
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, you get sued.
Because in Australia, they'd get sued straight away. I don't think it's too late for any of you guys to make a complaint, and I think you should put a complaint together, all 3 of you, and send it to all 3 doctors and to the medical board.
Yeah.
And start making a statement for the spin and start agitating, because that's what we're a little bit about as well.
Yeah,
Hold it.
I agree.
Do you agree? Would you be in that, Ania, or rather stay out of that one?
She's asleep.
No, I think she's frozen.
no,
Yeah, she's frozen.
Too much
I don't
wine.
know why I keep freezing.
Would you be in on that one, Anya?
Yeah, I said I think my gynecologist retired.
Well, you can still censure him. I get into it. Anyway, you guys talk about that. Wade did it. Wade sent a whole city council to the Human Rights Commission, correct, Wade?
yeah, I was the first Canadian to take an entire city, the mayor, and every one of the city councillors to the Human Rights Tribunal in Canada.
And just explain to the girls
Not
how that
it
happened.
helped much. Well, it happened because they said on live TV when I was doing a presentation, "You people and your small problems." And then they repeated it a second time. So it was on live TV, so I didn't really have a choice. I was contacted by a lot of people after that television broadcast. So I did it, but I was just a figurehead. They gave me lawyers and stuff to do it, but that's because it was in the media. I know that things that aren't in the media and things that aren't out there are very much harder to bring up.
But
And
the
to take a
agitation
stand
still
for it.
created a positive outcome, didn't it?
Yeah, no. I mean, the city that it happened to, they really haven't changed their ways very much. They did for the long enough for the court case to end, and they offered me a whole bunch of money and all kinds of apologies and stuff. But in the end, nothing really changed, and that's a big problem we have in Canada because we have so many laws that aren't enforced because we're a police state, and so we have all these laws that they make to help people, but there's no enforcement, so they don't work.
Okay.
I don't know how
well,
about the girls with doctors, but we have a huge problem with our medical
Everyone?
system up here. Everybody, we have free medical in Canada, but because everybody takes advantage of the situation, we're broke as broke can be, our medical system, and they're shutting down hospitals and clinics, and people are losing doctors every day up here because our doctors are going to the USA where they can make more money.
Yeah, but they make more money and don't only do what they want. They won't see people that are a little bit inconvenient.
I had to switch doctors and I actually switched from a male doctor to a female doctor, and
Right.
I actually get better medical attention now than I ever got. And she understands my problem. She understands. She has no problem examining me. If she wants me up on a table, she will throw me up there or get some help and put me up there, and or whatever has to be done. So my other doctor was, over the phone, giving me more painkillers every time I called, and that was pretty much it. He was useless.
So was that partly because of the disability situation that you left the other doctor?
Yeah, because his only recourse for me was to give me more painkillers and try to convince me not to come to his office because it was a pain in the ass for him whenever I came. So I ended up firing him, and it took me over a year to find another doctor. So I went without any doctor for a year and a half after I was put in this wheelchair. So it
There
was
you
pretty
go.
brutal.
See, it's not. I'm not sure what the right word, but it's not gender specific. It's the same for. I mean, it's just a general wheelchair prejudice, really. It's quite interesting
Yeah,
what
I
you
think
said about the medication. During the week, thanks to the introduction to Maybeth, we were contacted by a family, and I'd like to say hi to Whitney and Michael and Darlene and young Lily, because I think she'd be about 9 now. And Lily became a quadriplegic in a car accident when she was about 2.5, 2 3/4. So she's had a pretty rough time, but she's doing well. And they're questioning the medication as well, and how much medication the doctor's got on. And they've reached out, by the way, ladies, because of you, because of the spin. And they are so, they feel like they're not so alone anymore just because of watching the introduction videos on the spin. So thank you all for that. It's kind of awesome.
Oh,
It's
that's
kind of what we're
awesome. That's
about.
great.
So
Great.
we'll probably get them on the program and see what it's like to have a 2.5-year-old that's just become quadriplegic, and they're going to have a chat. Go on.
I have
You
plans
won't
to
get
meet
any
her
more honest.
soon.
You do have plans to meet her soon? Yep.
Yes.
And you didn't even know there was somebody like that in your area, you said.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad she reached out.
Well, this is kind of just beginning, and I'm already happy, quite proud of what we're doing. So thank you, everyone. I just want to give an award to Ania, who was actually holding her phone, which is very uncomfortable, and she's doing an extremely good job there, by the way. Well done, Ania.
If I could show you my setup, you'd be shocked.
Well, I hope we're
You
talking
can
about
show
the
me in
cameras.
May later.
Anyway, that's another. Look, I'm just gone. I'm in the Me Too movement now. I might have to edit that bit out. Oh my God. All right, next thing. We talked a little bit a couple of weeks ago about, and I'm going to have to get my iPad to work all this out, about Game of Thrones and how they had disabled actors. And this is something that's really picking up some credence in the areas now. I've got to find it.
I've never watched Game of Thrones, so.
I
No,
don't
no,
know.
but
Me
we've
either.
had some really new things happen. I've just got to find it. So you guys keep talking while I...
Me either.
Okay, first of all,
Everybody keeps telling me to get on it, but no.
Boring.
I don't know
watched,
if
like,
you're
5
aware, but
seconds of, like, that now.
CBS have just signed a pledge to audition actors with disabilities. More actors
Wow.
with disabilities. And their statement was, we recognise that disability is central to diversity, that the disability community comprises the largest minority in our nation, and that the people with disability face seclusion from the entertainment industry. We understand that increasing auditions, no matter the size of the role, is a critical step towards achieving inclusion in the industry. This studio pledges to increase the number of actors and actresses with disabilities who audition for parts on television and in film. Do you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
No,
Yep.
I
So are
didn't.
you?
No.
I think Kaley's packing her bags now. She's heading for Hollywood, and
No, I don't think I'm a good actress. My face gives everything away.
but that do you think that's an important step, Wade?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I love what the Ruderman Family Foundation does. I mean, they're the ones who've instigated this. It's definitely not coming from the entertainment world. It's coming from pressure from outside influences on them. And I think it's great as long as the role fits the part. I mean, I couldn't see myself in my wheelchair taking over for Bruce Willis and Die Hard and having a guy in a wheelchair trying to take out a bunch of terrorists.
Well, at least we know
So,
what
I
the
mean,
outcome is.
Right? So as long as it makes sense, yes, but don't do it just to fill a role. Don't do it just because, like, you know, you got to have a certain amount of people with disabilities, because they said here, there's a comment they made about 20% of the U.S. population, and only about 2% representation. I mean, if they all of a sudden make it 20% just to
That'd
fill
be
the
stupid.
numbers and
Yeah.
not to do the artistic part of actually making the movie, that would be ridiculous. So I hope it's done in good faith, and I hope it's done in the means that it was meant to be, and not just some another political correct.
I'm not a great believer in quotas. I don't believe in quotas just for the sake of quotas, you know. If I can't do a job, then I shouldn't get the job.
I
But
agree.
if I can do the job, I should have the same chance of getting the job as other people. How do you
Most
feel,
definitely.
Nev? Are you on that one? What do you think?
I don't know.
Do
Never thought about it.
You don't think that we should just automatically get jobs because we're disabled, though?
No.
No.
No. If you can do the job, you do the job.
Yep.
That's it.
But unfortunately now there's a lot of pressure on companies to have quotas, you know, like you've got to have 10% of disabled or whatever. I don't think that, or 10% women in government or whatever. I think, and I'm getting into trouble for this, I don't care what gender you are as long as you're the best person for the job.
That's it.
So if we can go back again, how do you feel about that, Kaley? What do you think?
I agree with you. I know, like, a lot of people were upset about that movie. I can't think of what it's called, but it has Kevin Hart in it, and the guy plays a quadriplegic.
Yep.
And Kevin Hart is his caregiver, and a lot of people were upset that they didn't pick an actual quadriplegic. But the guy they picked is pretty popular, so it kind of got more attention because he's famous already.
So it helped
They
a
picked
bit.
somebody that wasn't famous, yeah.
Yeah, I believe a lot of the problem is the insurance. The insurance companies charge a lot more to insure somebody with a disability, which is one of the problems.
I can tell you that right now. No, actually, I can tell you right now that's a load of horse shit.
Is
There's
it?
liability insurance, liability insurance, and if you want to look at it that way, then because I've already lost use of my legs, my liability should be half of somebody else's. because I can't
Oh,
sue
so
you for
should yours,
losing
Nick.
use. So liability insurance, I have to have with my corporation $5 million liability. That doesn't matter if I hire an able-bodied person or a person with a disability. That's my liability. That's what I have to have. End of story. And there's no goddamn law out there that says anything different. Who tells you liability is an issue is just full of shit, doesn't know what they're talking about.
So they're just talking crap.
I think that depends on the
Yeah.
country you live in.
Okay.
Liability is across the board.
What's that again, Wade? You're just fading away a bit. What's that?
Insurance, I know for a fact in Australia, I know in Great Britain, USA, liability is set at a certain rate. Your car insurance, your liability is set at a certain, whatever it is, I'm not sure, but that's what your liability is. Whether you drive with hand controls or your feet, it's the same. If you hit somebody, you do the same amount of damage. It doesn't have, I mean, other than back and old shoes in your wheelchair.
We
We're all
need to
the
boost Wade a little bit if we can, Carl, but see how we go. May, how do you feel about it? Do you think we should just have equal opportunity? Do you think people should have to fill quotas? And then we'll go to Ania because she needs to have a rest, give her arm a rest.
No, I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me because I have a disability. So, yeah.
So just on your merits. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. We're all a bit the same, actually. What about you, Anya? You feel the same? Do you need a plaster cast for the arm or something?
No, I just need a new spinal cord.
Hang on. Could you just check in the cupboard, Carl? I think we had a spare one there last week.
I know there's one laying around here somewhere.
Oh, have you been shopping the black market lately?
No, I haven't. I haven't got any money. That's the problem.
Good in the arms and legs.
Same.
So, and Nev reckons since he's only got one arm and one leg, his insurance should definitely be half.
I can't even get a half price massage.
Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? That's just wrong. So, and just to finish that off, there's also been a statement from Love Island. If any of you watch Love Island, I've never heard of it.
never heard of it.
It's supposed to be fairly big in the US. It's one of
Not
those
that big.
reality
Never heard of
TV
it.
shows.
I think I saw a commercial for that. I didn't watch it though.
No, it's a
Yeah, I
show.
think I saw it when I was at Kaley's.
Ah, see, Kaley's a closet watcher. Nobody wants to admit it.
No, I would tell you.
Anyway, apparently they've said that they need to put some disabled people onto the island as well. So there seems to be some.
I read
Go on.
I'll apply.
Yeah,
I
okay,
was
we'll all
just
go.
about-
Love in my life.
What's
I read the report that apparently they have to put other than white people on there too.
really? They get. Oh.
I just thought I would include that because that's what it says in this page right here.
Excellent. Read
That's
a
a
bit
touch-
for us.
Okay, it says Love Island 2019 returns to TV this summer with arguably the most diverse cast yet after previously facing accusations of fielding a predominantly white cast and feeding body insecurities. However, Love Island's latest controversy comes at the surfacing of some pretty shocking home truths about disability representation. Ever since the show exploded onto our screens back in 2015, there hasn't been a single Love Island contestant who identifies with having a disability. Until I read this report, I didn't even know there was such a show, to be honest with you.
Well, you know, me and Anya are going. We're going to go under the thing. We're finding the love of our lives, right, Anya? Right.
Oh yeah.
We'll be the two
I've
wheelchair
always
people
thought
there.
that I
They'll
should
try
go.
and push us together, and I'm only about 80 years older than you, but don't worry about that.
Only 80.
Yeah, only 80. Yeah, it's only a small difference. You know, it's my birthday this week. Everybody say happy birthday.
What's it
You
got
can't
to
tell
that?
us to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
See, nothing like a spontaneous
Say,
happy
oh,
birthday.
it's my birthday.
But
Tell me happy birthday.
couple of days ago, actually. Yep. I got 1 year
So then
younger.
happy- What?
I'm going
happy late
backwards from
birthday.
now on. I'm going backwards.
Me too.
Sounds good. Now, I need you guys to chat about some other things while I queue something up on the video that I want to talk to you about. So we'll start off with Wade, and just tell us what you would like to see the spin do, and we'll go around in the circle. What you would like to see the spin achieve, and what you would like to see on it. So pop over to Wade, Carl. Hang on, he's coming.
Tonight's a perfect example.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I said tonight's a perfect example of what I'd like to see it achieve. The contact between that young girl's parents and Maybeth. If that's the only thing we accomplished, then that's more than I would have hoped for. To be able to educate and to be able to let people know the reality, and it took me being put in a wheelchair to understand what the real world is and the world that we live in. I'm ashamed of my life as an engineer prior for 23 years. I never once considered the what I was doing and how it affected the rest of the community or the entire community and what that community represents. So moving forward, everything I do with my company and everything that I try to accomplish is education, because I think the best tool that we have at our disposal is education. And as long as we continue to do that, and we get some people who are responsive to the show, and we're doing everything that we could ever want out of this show. And that's just how I feel about it.
Can we go to Ania, Carl, if possible? Thank you, Wade.
You're welcome.
And we'll try. We'll wait till we get the. There we go. If you're no, we can't go to Ania, but you can talk from there at the moment. Ania, there you are. Is there anything you particularly want to happen, or how are you feeling about it, or which direction do you think we should go? Other than getting you a phone stand.
It's broken.
Okay, go on. Oops. Oh. Hang on, we'll wait.
Anyways, I just want people.
We might come back to you, Anya, because we've lost you for a minute. Hang on. Just go over to Kaley first. We'll come back to Anya with a bit of luck. There we go. Try you first, Kaley. What about you?
I agree with Wade. I want more people to be educated on disabilities, and that being like disabled people and able-bodied people, because they don't really understand what we have to deal with.
Yep.
And
do you think there should be limits, or do you think we should just talk about anything?
No, I think we should talk about everything.
Everything, and no need to be too politically correct, obviously.
No, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. All right, so you're happy with where we're going?
Yeah, I think so.
Good, I keep my job for another week. What about you, Nev?
I'm the same. I think the same as all these guys.
Okay.
Yeah. You've got to be educated.
Yeah, and are you learning things? Because I'm learning things from it.
Yeah, well, I'm learning more and more each year.
Yeah, so...
I'm only 8 years into the wheelchair, so...
What about from the program? I've learned stuff just from the spin.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, which is good for us as well, I think. We might go to Maybeth. I hope. There we are. This is our first whip around. What about you?
I just want able-bodied people to see that we are still individuals and nothing is wrong with us just because we have a set of wheels.
Yep. Yeah, well, Wade always says that, and I'll go back to all of us, Wade makes a comment about what a wheelchair is, and when we're there, Wade, what do you call a wheelchair?
I call it my expensive pair of running shoes. It's a mobility device, that's all it is. The person who thinks my wheelchair is a disability, if you look under the definition of disability in the dictionary, that's the person who has the disability, and he has a disability to understand the world that is around them. So
I agree with you, absolutely.
A wheelchair is just, it's just a more blingy, cooler set of running shoes that I can do more tricks with.
Yep, that makes sense. Hang on, Carl's wanting to ask me something.
Anya's looking like she's streaming okay now.
Anya, let's have a listen to you, see if we can go again. What do you think?
Well, I missed what they said because my Wi-Fi completely out because it's raining and stormy. So if I repeat any of guys' accomplishments and goals and dreams of this beautiful thing but I just want people to realize that know that we are in wheelchairs, we can still hold a relationship, and we can family. We can still drive, travel, do everything we were able to do before an injury or before anything happened that left us being wheelchair users. So I want people to get that from it, and I also want people to be all right up and actually asking instead of assuming and guessing as to
Run the odd tick.
with.
Sorry, I forgot to turn the mic off while I was telling Carl what to do. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
Well, I think that's excellent. I think we've all got the same wishes, really. But above all, I think we should have fun. We should show people that we can have fun. Life is not about sitting down dwelling on our disability. Quite frankly, nobody in this program gives a shit about it, really. We're all about living life, and it just so happens that we have mobility impairment. And about the only good thing about that is that it brings us closer together to do something like this. Are we agreeing on that?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. I definitely agree on that, but agreeing it in a way that I want people to know that we are coming together, not as we can't have friends that are able-bodied to chairs, but it's just not better to spread awareness and make people can still do anything you want to as a group and whole rather than trying to do it by yourself.
Excellent. I've got a bit of a controversial theory in that I steered away from people with disability for a long time in my life, and I still do to some degree, whether that gets me in trouble or not.
That.
You do that as well?
You.
Yeah.
No.
All of you?
I do that too.
You
I
know.
do that only because if I meet somebody, say, has a spinal cord injury like I do, or for any matter, like had anything that left them, being a wheelchair user, if they are dwelling on that situation or they're negative, especially negative, and sit in self-pity, I won't bring that kind of person around me. I'll try to bring them out of that hole, and
Yep.
let them know like everything's gonna be okay. You can still enjoy things and live life.
So
but
you'll
if
try
they
to bring
refuse
them up, but you
know,
refuse to go down yourself.
yeah, like I won't ever sit there and agree with someone, oh, this shit sucks. I'll agree to an extent, like, yeah, we have our good days and we have our days, which most days are worse than good. I won't be friends with someone that doesn't appreciate being here.
Yep. See, I often wondered, I always used to as a kid, I'd wave to people with disabilities. We'll stick everybody in on this, Carl, so we can have a thought. I'd wave to people with disabilities. We didn't seem to have this camaraderie, this sort of brotherhood, sisterhood that I thought we should have. And over the years, I've wondered why that might be the case. Do you know what I'm trying to say, Wade?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't in a wheelchair till I was 47 years of old, and I worked as a project manager, and I worked in construction, and I was a soldier. So I really didn't think much about it. And I honestly can tell you, I don't think I had one person as a friend who had a disability of any kind. I think I had one buddy who had a leg cut off or something like that, but other than that, nothing. And now that all those friends that I had for years are no longer my friends, now my friends happen to be persons with disability because I find them to be more abled and more realistic. But I also found out very quickly that it's no different than before. I mean, certain people are just assholes and don't deserve fucking 10 minutes of my time.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah.
So,
See, I guess
so that's pretty much it with me.
for me, I think my parents pushed me into, in a nice way, that's the wrong way of putting it, they helped me by sending me to places like the Queensland Spastic Welfare League to do holiday activities, which I hated because that made me feel, we'll go back to everyone if we can, that made me feel like I was disabled, I didn't dislike the people. I loved the people. But they all sat around and talked about having sex, and I just wanted to go out and have sex. You know, I was only 12, but I still wanted to. You know, go on. What were we going to say?
What was I gonna say?
Yeah, you had a smile on your face. I'm letting you. What were you going to say?
Now I feel like when I go out with friends or when I go and they approach me, especially a guy when they're hitting on me, and I mainly go out with a bunch of my guy friends. I have a few girlfriends that go out, but most of them, have families and are tied down. I go out with most of my single guy friends, and when a guy approaches me and they most likely that I'm with is with me, because all of my guy brothers to me, they'll come do it, and we'll both look at them and what are you talking about? And they're like, how do you guys have sex? And we're like, what in the hell? That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth.
You say, do you want a video? Anyway, no, just kidding. I mean, I agree with you. It's kind of shocking, but my parents did everything from a very good-hearted way. They did what they thought was best, and it probably was best. But what made the difference for me was I had a bit of a crush on the lady that was running the holiday disability workshop thing, who was not disabled, and she was talking to me like a disabled person. We've all been there. And they had me making a beaded bag. And I just got so depressed and so that I threw the beaded bag. And the first time in my life I swore at someone and told her to stick it up her ass. And after that, she was much nicer to me. So what can I say? But Nev said, go on.
For me, I just feel like I don't want to force connections with people. Like, just because we're both in wheelchairs, we shouldn't have to be friends.
True.
Like, if I don't get along with you, then I don't get along with you.
Yep.
I don't vibe with everybody, so I'm not going to be your friend if we don't click,
See, for me, this is great because this is giving me the friendship with people with mobility impairment that I've always wanted, because the people that we have here and the people that we bring on tour are people that aren't, as somebody said, whoever said it, negative. Aren't living in pity or aren't living in, that's even the wrong word, aren't living in negativity. And as long as we've got people that aren't living in negativity, it's much more fun than anyone. I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think I'm getting myself into all sorts of trouble here, but anyway. So I have one more question before we go. Do we, and we can be political and we can be honest. Do we have anybody here that's a Donald Trump supporter?
Doesn't look like it.
I have never voted my whole time being in it, so.
Well, I just want to ask a simple question. Did everyone see the footage of him purportedly mocking the person with the disability, perhaps?
Yeah, I saw that.
Nope, no idea.
Well, we're going to have a look at it. If you can go to my computer, Carl, and I'll run it. Now, just thinking that the person that was the reporter does have a disability that he was talking about. Okay, here we go.
Donald Trump facing new criticism for something he did on the campaign trail last night in South Carolina while defending his debunked claim that he saw thousands of Muslims celebrate the collapse of the Twin Towers here in New York. He appeared to mock a reporter with a disability. Take a look.
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This was 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction.
Okay.
As you can see right there, he suffers from a chronic condition that impairs movement of his arms. A Times spokesman says they find it outrageous that Trump would ridicule the man's appearance.
Okay, that'll do.
Donald Trump.
Oh. Are you there?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, gotcha.
Are you guys there?
Okay. Now, I know what you think, Wade, so just hang on a sec. I'll go to you last, because I love what you said to me earlier today. Does anyone can anyone see, considering that the guy had an arm that was bent, do you buy that he said later that he wasn't making fun of the guy? Did it look like he was mocking him to anybody else, or is it just me?
No, I think
It
he
did
was.
to me. Yeah.
It did to you, mate?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it did to Kaley, and it did to Ania, it did to
Because
me.
he
What
put
about
his
you,
arm
Nev?
up like this.
Yeah, I mean, he had the
Yeah.
exact thing going, you know?
But all politicians wave their arms around.
Yeah, but they don't bend their arm down like that.
You never know.
He was doing it just like that.
Yeah, well, I just want to show it and say that I don't buy it. I think he said he didn't do it on purpose, but I think he did. But I like what Wade said. Tell her what you said to me earlier, Wade.
I said I hold what Yosemite Sam fucking says at a lot higher rate than I hold what Donald Trump says or does.
Because you
So
said
he's
he's a cartoon
character
character.
to me. That's all he is. He's a cartoon character. I'm sorry that he's your guy's president. I've got to deal with Justin Trudeau. She's just another friggin'
Hey, we've got
nap-happy
Scott Morrison. We're all
Facebook.
the same.
So, but anyways, it doesn't matter. I just don't really give a shit what he does or says, and it doesn't dictate me or my life or anybody that I know. So I hope, nobody takes him too seriously, because if they do, the whole world could be in a lot of shit.
Yeah, well, for me, I just wanted to see what other people thought, because to me that was blatant making fun of someone with a disability.
It's hard
I've
to
seen
take
a lot of
someone
celebrities
serious.
make fun.
Hold on, we'll go one at a time. You first, mate.
Oh, it's just like Nicki Minaj, who waved that wand on Halloween and told a girl in a wheelchair to get up and walk.
What did you What did you think, Kaley?
I said it's hard to take anybody serious that's orange.
I've got to ask you what you thought now, Ania.
He's in the game.
Yeah, I keep freezing, so I can't hear any of your guys' responses, really.
But what did you think? Did you think he was making fun of the reporter?
Yeah, I feel like he was hinting at first, and then he tried to save himself with a couple more arm swings.
Yeah.
But, like I said, I have not voted since I've been in the U.S. I don't follow politics. I don't follow anything that's on the news, because it's irrelevant to my life. So
It was just something I wanted to do to round something off. Just remember, we do have a Thailand tour coming up. We're hoping to get some people here. Next week, we're going to talk more about traveling with mobility impairment, because that's what we all want to do. And don't forget that one of our sponsors for Anywhere on Wheels, and we'll give them a quick ad, is Hello World. Hello World Travel Harvey Bay is Anywhere on Wheels' preferred travel agent in Australia. Call Joe and the gang and they'll fix you up with a great deal. Book with the knowledge that you're booking with Australia's largest travel agency group. Remember, with Anywhere on Wheels and Hello World Travel, you're never alone. So I bet all of you are happy to be when we book you with Hello World Travel, and it'll be great when we all meet up together, eh?
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to get you to bring
As long
some
as
of
we got
that
lots of
whiskey,
whiskey.
Kaley.
Tequila
We'll
shots,
have
Anna?
whiskey. That's-
no tequila shots all day, every day with us.
Come to Thailand and that's all they drink.
What about you, May Beth? What do you drink? I don't drink, but don't tell anyone.
They like
I
weed.
drink a lot of wine.
Okay. And Wade, what's your favourite poison?
Oh, whiskey all the way.
And what about you, Nev?
Beer and whiskey.
Together at the same time?
No, we can have 2 glasses.
For breakfast. Yeah, for breakfast.
What do you... Hang on, we'll put Carl in. Carl, what do you like drinking?
Oh, Johnny Walker, mate.
See, he's the only one not
He's
in a
just
wheelchair.
insulting us.
Yeah, he's the only one in a wheelchair, not in a wheelchair, and he drinks Johnny Walker. Well, fuck him. That's what
Because
I
I can.
Well, listen, guys, it's been awesome as a first international version of The Spin. Can you all come back next week when I'm in Australia?
Yep.
For sure.
Are you in, mate?
Yes.
Anya?
Yes.
Anya?
She's freezing.
Anya's gone again. It's very cold
Yes,
where
still
she is, I've
frozen.
heard. She's freezing.
Stop playing in the snow.
But we'll get everybody back together. Hopefully Anya as well. And it's storming here as well, by the way. And I'd love for you guys to let me know the things that you want to talk about also, so we can turn it into something more that's built and controlled and run by you guys rather than just myself. Wade, make sure you bring all your products to Thailand for the Friendly Design Expo so that we can all go down the beach, all right?
Oh, they'll be there.
Kaylee, wake
They'll
up.
be there 100%.
That'll be
I'll
good. That's it. That's nice whistling, Anya.
He's off fair.
Not frozen now.
Hey, listen, thank you, everyone. We'll talk after the closing for a minute, but right now, as far as the show goes, thank you for being on our first ever truly international version of The Spin.